Hi guys, Tasha27 back again. This is part 2 of Football Natter. Now I know this was supposed to be up on Friday, but I've been ill since Wednesday with the flu, and although I've still got it, I'm going to crack on and get this episode out for you guys. So in this episode we're going to talk about the last games of the season. We're going to talk about who won the title, who qualified for the Champions League, and also who got relegated. We're also going to talk about Joey Barton and his antics. We're going to talk about... I'm going to pick my England squad with Roy Hodgson picking his squad on Wednesday. I'm going to pick on who I would take to the Euros. We're also going to talk about the decision of Roy Hodgson picking Gary Neville to be a coach. And we're also going to talk about where Aston Villa should go from now with McLeish being sacked. Okay, let's start it off with the Man City United and who won the title. I'm sure anyone who's watching this will know that Man City won the title, and they won it right at the end. Now, Man City were favourites to win this match, having won pretty much every match of the season at home, and QPR had lost pretty much every one away. Now, you couldn't write it better, more tense a finish. You had Man United at Sunderland. Man United were doing the job. They had scored pretty early on and were winning 1-0. You had Man City, who had just scored before half time, and you're thinking that's it. Man City are going to go on from here, going to score 2 or 3 more and win the league. However, nothing's ever that simple in football, and 3 minutes into the second half, Julian Lescott mistimes a header, flicks it on, and Cissé's through one-on-one and he puts it in the corner. So obviously, news filters through to Man United. All their fans are celebrating, and they're winning the league at the minute, Man United. And then QPR then go down to 10 men. Joey Barton gets sent off. So you're thinking, oh no, Man City are definitely going to win this now. They've got half an hour to score a goal and win the league. However, QPR, on the only break they have in the second half, apart from the goal they've already scored, Mackie scores a great diving header. So Man City are now losing 2-1. And they've got, I think it's about 25 minutes to go. So obviously the United fans are thinking, yeah, we're winning this. We've got a really good chance here. So yeah, Man City are playing terrible. They've got Dzeko, Balotelli and Aguero up front. They've still got Nasri. They've still got Silva. But they just can't seem to break them down. Their shooting's terrible. It's going out for throw-ins until they get a corner. I think it's Silva whips it in and Dzeko scores. Now this is on the 92nd minute, and there's only 3 more minutes left of injury time. And at this stage, Man United's match is finished. Now they thinking, oh, it's 2-2, but there's only 2 more minutes left. They've won the title, so they're celebrating. Now I'm with my dad watching the match, and I looked at him when Man City scored their second goal, and I said, Man City are going to have one more chance here. Normally the teams always do. And I was right. They had one more chance. And Aguero, probably the one man you wanted it to fall to all season, buries it. And they done it. 44 years. Man City have won the title. Man United were gutted. Ferguson was in shock. The fans were crying. And... yeah, so Man City won the league. In my opinion, they deserved it. They beat Man United twice. They scored more goals. They let in the least. So in my opinion, Man City deserved the title. Now, where does this leave the Premier League? Well, obviously you've got Man City. If they go out and buy 2 or 3 more extra players to the team they've already got, it's going to be very hard for United. United probably need to get 5 players just to have a better chance. They definitely need an attacking centre mid, someone like a Modric or a Schneider who can work a bit of magic. So yeah, that's my views of the Man City United game. What do you guys think? Do you think Man City deserve to win? Who do you think's been Man City's best player this season? Can United win the title next season? Okay, guys. Now, at the other end of the table, we've got the QPR and Bolton match. Now, if Bolton win and QPR lose, Bolton stay up. Now, we already know that QPR have lost the match, and it was a back and forth game between Stoke and Bolton, and in the end Bolton were relegated because they drew the match. Now, I look at this in two ways. I'm not a fan of Bolton, and it's got nothing to do with the players. I actually like the players. I like Owen Coyle. I don't think he's been given much of a chance, to be honest. Now, I look at the summer gone, and I look at who they lost. They lost, obviously, Daniel Sturridge, who went back to Chelsea, and he scored a lot of goals. But they also lost Elmander, who scored, I think it was between 10 and 15 goals. And to be honest, they just haven't replaced him. I know they got injuries to, I can't remember, I think he's Chinese, two midfielders. One's Holden, the American, and the other one's Chinese. He's just come back, and obviously Mwamba, the terrible thing that happened to Mwamba. But I do not like Bolton's chairman, and he thinks there shouldn't be relegation and promotion. Now, there has to be promotion and relegation. That's what makes the football what it is, and it gives teams, well, we already know Southampton and Reading are coming back up, it gives them a chance, and we could have West Ham or Blackpool back up, and it just refreshes the league. Now, the reason why they're so worried about getting relegated is they lose a lot of money. Now, I know they get the parachute payments, but how many times have you seen teams from the Premiership drop down to the League One? Man City's done it before. Leeds have obviously done it. Southampton have done it. So yeah, it can happen. Don't be surprised if a Bolton or a Blackburn go down again in the next few years. Now and supposedly Bolton are in 100 million of debt. They've got 11 players out of contract, and some of their best players like Kevin Davis and Jaskalainen. So, am I expecting Bolton to come up? No, I'm not. I think Wolves have a better chance. I think they haven't really overspent, Wolves, and I think a lot of their players will stay. Obviously, you might lose Jarvis and you might lose Fletcher and Doyle, but I think they'll get enough money from that to buy good Championship players. Now, QPR, I think it was important for them to stay up. I look at their squad and I think, yeah, I think they're going to do all right. You know, Fernandez, their chairman's going to put a bit more money in it, so I think they'll probably be about mid-table next year, so they shouldn't be worrying about it. Now, on to the Champions League places. We had Arsenal, Tottenham and Newcastle all fighting to get in the last two remaining Champions League places. However, there's a twist in this. Obviously, if Chelsea win the Champions League final against Bayern, then the team that finishes fourth will not be in the Champions League. They'll be in the Europa Cup, and Chelsea will take their place. Now, Arsenal had to win, and they did. Arsenal won the match. They beat West Brom 3-2 in a match where West Brom's goalie had an absolute nightmare. At least two of the goals was his fault, and Arsenal done their typical defending. They really need to sort that out during the summer, as well as keeping Van Persie. So Arsenal finished third, and Tottenham also won, and that they beat. Oh, who did Tottenham beat? Tottenham beat Fulham 2-0. So they finished fourth, and now they've got the nerve-wracking weight of waiting until the Champions League final on Saturday and seeing if they're allowed in the Champions League. Now that's massive for Tottenham as well, because if they get in the Champions League, they might be able to keep Modric and Bale and some of their other players. and they might be able to improve the squad and maybe go on to the next level. Top Newcastle Europa League is a massive achievement for them. No one expected it. But again, can they keep the players? Can they keep Cisse? Can they keep Demba Ba? Can they keep Tiote? Can they keep Cabaye? Can they keep Ben Arthur? Can they keep Krul? And it's a very important summer for a lot of the teams near the top. Who are they going to sign? Who are they going to sell? So yeah, that's that sorted out. And let's go on to the next topics. Also, yeah, Joey Barton. What an idiot. Now, I like Joey Barton. I think he's quite amusing. I follow him on Twitter. But he's an idiot, isn't he? Not only did he elbow Tevez, and to be fair, he might have got kicked. Tevez might have kicked out of him, but he's blatantly elbowed him. He's then denied it, and as he's got sent off, he's kicked Aguero right in front of the ref, and he's then squared up to Company and tried to headbutt Company. Now, no offence, but I wouldn't mess with Company. And as he's being dragged off by Richards, who was a sub Man City, Micah Richards, who knows Joey Barton because obviously they were at Man City together, he then was talking rubbish to Balotelli, and I'm thinking, you don't need to do this, Joey Barton. You're actually a really good player, and if he just calmed his temper down, he would have got a lot further in the game. So yeah, he was, for that red card itself, as it was his second one of the season, he was going to get a 4-game ban. But after kicking Aguero and then attempting to headbutt Company, he's probably going to get a 10-match ban altogether. And you're thinking that's a quarter of the season he's going to be out of next year. So we'll have to wait and see. Are QPR going to keep him? He's a lot of hassle. We'll have to wait and see. What's your views on Joey Barton? Write it in the comments box. Okay, guys. On to my next thing. We all know on Wednesday, Roy Hodgson is announcing his team, his England squad. Now, I've picked my England squad. Obviously, I'm not too sure, obviously, on the fitness of a few of the players. There's rumours they're not going to be fit. Obviously, a couple of the players I do know are out, and I haven't chosen, like Wiltshire and Rodwell, who I would have picked in my, and Darren Bent, which I would have picked in my squad. So, there's a 23-man squad. I picked 3 goalies. I picked Joe Hart. I picked Ben Foster. Now, I know Ben Foster, at the moment, said he's retired from international football, but with Roy Hodgson knowing Ben Foster at West Brom, I hope he changes his mind and is willing to be picked for England. So I'd picked Joe Hart, Ben Foster, and I would pick Ruddy from Norwich. I think he's been a quality goalkeeper this year, and I'd take him as the third choice. Okay, defenders. I've picked 8 defenders. I've picked 2 right backs. I've picked Micah Richards and I've picked Walker. Now, I've picked Richards because he's playing for Man City. He's got to get picked. Walker, I think his pace is brilliant, and sometimes we miss the pace. Now, obviously, the person who I haven't included there is Glenn Johnson. I've heard rumours that him and Roy Hodgson don't get on, and in my opinion, I think Richards and Walker have been better this season, so I've gone for those 2. At left back, I picked Ashley Cole and I've picked Baines. The other option was obviously Kieran Gibbs, but I just don't think he's ready, so I'm going to go for Cole and Baines. And I've picked 4 centre backs. I picked John Terry. I picked Gary Cahill. I know there's issue about his fitness, but I'm pretty sure he's going to play in the Champions League, so he's going to be fine. I picked Julian Lescott and I picked Phil Jones. In midfield, I picked 4 midfielders. Have I? Yeah, 8 midfielders. I picked Gareth Barry, Frank Lampard, Steven Gerrard, Scott Parker. Now, I know Scott Parker's got an issue with his fitness, but I'm hoping he can be fit because he's been brilliant this year. I've also picked Walcott, Ashley Young, James Milner, who can play in centre mid or on the wing, and I've picked Chamberlain. Now, I've left out quite a lot of midfielders. Obviously, I would have picked Wiltshire, and I probably would have picked Rodwell, because I think those two have been brilliant. Obviously, Cleverley has had an injury hit season. I might have picked him. Obviously, Paul Scholes has been brilliant since his return, but I'm not sure he'll want to come back, and I don't think we should go that far back. Obviously, on the wings, you could have Aaron Lennon, Adam Johnson. I'm a fan of Adam Johnson, but he's not really been in the Man City team of late. He didn't even get on the bench in the last match. You could also have Downing. Well, Liverpool have been terrible this year, and he's done nothing all season, so that's the reason why I didn't pick Downing. And my strikers, I picked 4 strikers. I picked Wayne Rooney. We know he's missing the first 2 matches, but you've got to pick Rooney. Rooney is probably our best player, and in the 3rd match we might need him to get out of the group. Danny Welbeck, great season at United. Jermaine Defoe, now not too sure about Defoe. He scored, I think it's like, he scored nearly 15 goals, and he's been sub. He knows where the back of the net is, and with Ben struggling to be fit, I think he's probably our best striker other than Rooney. And I've also gone for a big man. A few weeks ago I probably would have picked Crouch, but I'm going with Carroll. And in the last few weeks he has been simply unplayable. He came on in the FA Cup, caused John Terry all sort of trouble. Liverpool didn't look like winning until Andy Carroll came on. He scored a goal, maybe could have had a second, wasn't given. He then played again on, I think it was Tuesday or Wednesday, and he caused John Terry havoc again. So I've picked Crouch. Now I know a few are going to say I picked Carroll. I know a few are going to say, well, he's only played well in about 5 games, but he's playing well at the right end of the season, and I just think he's younger. Let's get him in the squad. Get him working with Rooney. Get him working with the Walcott and Young. And I know Crouch and Sturridge. If I would have picked this team about February time, Sturridge would have been in it. But he hasn't been in the Chelsea team lately, so therefore he's not been picked. Okay, guys. So I know a few of you aren't going to agree with the squad, and that's what I want. I want you guys to write you don't agree. Who would you pick in your squad? Let me know, put a few comments. Maybe I've missed someone altogether. Maybe, I don't know, a youngster from the lower leagues maybe you wanted to put in. Maybe someone like Redmond from Birmingham or something. So yeah, the next point is Gary Neville as a coach. Now this is an interesting decision. Gary Neville, I hated him as a player, but he's brilliant. He's brilliant on Sky Sports, and he knows the England setup. He's been to, I'm not sure how many main tournaments, but it's probably 4 or 5 main tournaments, and I think it's good knowledge of Gary Neville in the backroom staff. I don't have a problem with it. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see how that goes. And the final thing in today's episode is Aston Villa. Now Aston Villa, last season they lost Stuart Downing, they lost Ashley Young, and they haven't really replaced them. I know they've got a few injuries. Obviously Darren Bent's a big blow for them, but they only finished 2 points above the relegation zone. Sorry, I'm gonna sneeze, guys. I'm gonna pause the video quickly. Okay, guys, I'm back there. Sorry about that. So I'm cold. and they finished 2 points, Aston Villa, above the relegation zone. If the season went on 3 more games, I think they would have gone down. I think Bolton would have got out of it, and I think QPR obviously would have got out of it, and they would have gone down. Now, the Aston Villa fans didn't want McLeish. They wanted loads, but loads of people turned him down, and in the end he was 4th or 5th choice. He obviously got Birmingham relegated, and Birmingham's their rivals, and they basically just picked their manager, and he was fighting from the start, and to be honest, Villa have not been good enough, and in my opinion he deserved to get sacked. So I'm not surprised. Who do you guys think is going to be the new manager there? I haven't heard any rumours yet, but I suppose it'll be the normal guys. I should think the main one will be Martinez from Wigan. He turned it down last year. Are they going to go back in for him again? We'll have to find out. So, basically, I hope you've enjoyed this video. I'm sorry it's a couple of days late. I'm going to try and do the next episode on Friday. Do a preview of the Champions League final. And obviously talk about the squad that Hodgson has picked. So please comment on what your views of what we've talked about today. Did Man City deserve the title? Are you happy Bolton got relegated? What do you think of Joey Barton? I've picked my England squad. Do you agree with it? I'm going to write the squad down fully in the description below. So who would you pick in your squad? And also, what's your opinions on Gary Neville being in the England setup? And also, who would you pick as the next manager of Aston Villa? So, okay guys, please comment, rate and subscribe. Please give a like if you liked it. And I've been Dashadu27. Bang on.